And so I work a lot, but I also like the flexibility that if I need to go spend time at school with my kids, or I want to go spend a week at the lake and not have interruption of work, that I can take that time and I'm still getting paid because I've got these assets online that are still generating traffic and still generating revenue.
Hey everybody, I am Ben Weiss and this is Humans of Flippa. I'm so excited to be joined by my friend Bryon over here from Human Proof Designs, who's a big fan of Flippa. He's got a lot of knowledge he's going to drop on us today, learn about him, his business, and how he uses Flippa as well. So Bryon, thanks for joining. How you going?
Yeah, thanks, Ben. I'm excited to be here with you today.
Yeah, it's a good one. I always like to start, we know who you are because you're on Flip all the time, but just to give the audience a little background, what's your story? Like, where do you come from? How long have you been like kind of working in the online world? And I guess eventually what led to the creation of Human Proof Designs?
Yeah, sure. So my story real quick, I started in the technology industry about 20 years ago as a developer and kind of worked through the ranks of software development for many years, got into consulting, started up a consulting company about 10 years ago, and worked basically traveling 5 days a week across the country doing consulting for lots of different companies, Microsoft, Accenture, a lot of the Fortune 500 companies, and got tired of traveling.
Yeah.
I've got 4 kids, and that makes it even harder. So I was looking for something I could do in my skill set, but that would require less travel. That's how I got involved in online businesses. When I was doing consulting, I was only making money when I was working, when I was billable. Which I was billing a lot of hours, but I was also working a ton of hours.
Right.
So I got into affiliate marketing by really reselling training courses. So I would market training courses that other companies were holding in the Dallas area where I live. And I would get, say, 3 or 4 students to sign up into a training class, and these training classes were selling for around $1,800 for like a 3-day class.
Yeah.
Technical training. And so I could make $5,000-$10,000 on a course that I didn't have to teach and that I didn't have to write the curriculum for or anything, right?
I like that.
And so that worked well, and so I just expanded from there. Eventually I kind of got out of consulting and went full time into doing online businesses. And then just a couple of years ago, I acquired Human Proof Designs, which has really been in the business since 2013 in helping people start and grow online businesses. So I took my experience and what Human Proof Designs was doing and have kind of expanded the company into other areas. And so I've been doing this full time now for quite a number of years.
That's a good story. I mean, I love that, thinking about like I only make money when I'm working, because that's how we think about life, right? Like, you work 40 hours a week, you get 40 hours worth of pay, but it's true. Like in this whole online industry, you can figure out ways to maybe get 40 hours worth of pay for 20 hours of work or 10 hours of work or 1 hour of work, depending how good you are at it.
Yeah. I mean, it's funny because a lot of people get into online business because they think that, especially with affiliate marketing monetization, is they think, well, I'm not going to have to work and, I'm going to have this passive income. But the reality is even though I was working a lot of hours doing consulting and I got paid for every hour I worked, I now work, and I'm doing online business, I now work probably just as much and put in a lot of hours. But the difference is I have the flexibility that, like in the summer, we love to go up to the lake. And if I go and spend a month up there and just barely check my emails and work, like I still have revenue coming in. I'm still making money. Now I can't do that forever. I can't sit and let those assets not get attention and not spend effort in growing them. And so I work a lot, but I also like the flexibility that if I need to go spend time at school with my kids, or I want to go spend a week at the lake and not have interruption of work, that I can take that time and I'm still getting paid because I've has these assets online that are still generating traffic and still generating revenue. So it's that flexibility that is really what you get with an online business. It's not that you don't have to work, because believe me, it takes a lot of work. There's a lot of competition out there and everybody is trying to get to the top. So you got to pay attention and work every day.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. Anyone who's watched any video I've done on Flippa, I feel like I always say like, there's no such thing as passive income. Like there's ways to make income somewhat passively, but like I mean, most of the time if you see something that's like, oh, it's passive income, you're like, all right, well, you're making what, like $100 a month? Like that's maybe paying for a couple pizzas. You know, you're not exactly earning an income this way. You do have to put in work if you're going to do it. But let's jump. You know, we've got a little like sales feed here, and we always see when fun deals come through on Flippa. And I do feel like I see Human Proof Designs, your email coming through once in a while. What are some wins you've made on Flippa, and what you know, how are you kind of examining sites when you're looking to add something to your portfolio?
Yeah, so there's a number of things that I look at when I'm looking for a good deal. And keep in mind, even though I'll give you a list of a few things I look at, I'm not necessarily looking for a perfect company, a perfect site, because to be honest, if it's perfect, then it's probably going to be priced at a premium, and there's not going to be as much opportunity there to grow it because it's already perfect, right? So it's okay to find properties and sites that have issues, but you have to look at the fundamentals to see where you can grow it.
Right.
And so I primarily look for affiliate or e-commerce sites. Um, you know, looking for SaaS businesses on Flippa or really in any marketplace is really difficult right now. You don't find as many SaaS opportunities out there, but affiliate e-commerce, I think there's good opportunity there for e-commerce. And I've acquired several sites off of Flippa that I have in my own personal portfolio that I grow and earn revenues from. And then of course, with Human Proof Designs, we're always looking for good opportunities because we put them available on our newsletter and other areas on our site, and sell those to our customers and help them grow it. So we buy quite a few, but our e-commerce sites, really we're looking for sites that have a diversity of traffic. You know, it's always great when a site starts out as more of an informational site and they have organic traffic coming in, and then they flip that into an e-commerce site and leverage that traffic. Because we're not just relying on paid advertising 100% for traffic. So it's always good to see a site that has multiple traffic sources and isn't just a paid ad generated site. Another thing we're looking for is sites that have an email, especially with e-commerce, that have built up an email database that we can do remarketing and retargeting to.
Yeah, email. I say it all the time. Email is not dead. Email is important for a lot of reasons.
Oh yeah, I mean, you know, back when I was selling those training courses, I relied on email marketing 100%,
Yeah.
and it was completely effective. Of course, back then, 10, 15 years ago, email marketing was a lot easier to get into the inbox. Now it's harder, but like our business at Human Proof Designs, we use email marketing to our customers every week, and it generates sales for us every week because it's relevant to what our audience needs, and we're passing them offers, and so it's very effective. But if you have an email database, that's good. You know, we're looking at like average order size.
Okay.
Those are important. The time on site, we'll get Google Analytics and look at how long are people on the site. Are they bouncing off the site quickly? Right. Are they clicking around? All those things would indicate to us a good e-commerce opportunity.
Yeah. Yeah. People are actually there for a reason. They didn't just accidentally land there and then they leave.
yeah, and then they're off. So,
Yeah.
so those are all good. Affiliate sites are looking for a lot of the same things. Diverse traffic sources. Most affiliate sites today are very heavily weighted towards Google traffic. But if you have Pinterest, which is we've seen Pinterest growing on a lot of sites.
Yeah, huge.
Yeah, so it's been really huge. So that's always good. Um, good content, of course, strong conversions. We look at the conversion rates, see how the site's converting. It's interesting with e-commerce. We're looking for an email list, but for affiliate marketing, we're starting to look for that more as well because, um, traditionally you've been able to put things like a Google Analytics account on your site or a Facebook pixel, a Pinterest tag, a Twitter tag, and these things. And they've used cookies to help track users.
Right.
Um, and this year, things are really changing. Um, Apple announced that with iOS 14, they're banning kind of the marketing tracking ID that was there. And many companies are also announcing that they are really banning cookies. And so these are on their way out as well. And so it's becoming harder to identify and track user data, which is good from a privacy standpoint. The industry's been going that way for a long time.
It's good for people, but not great for businesses.
Yes, it makes it harder to market, right? And affiliate sites are having lots of anonymous users come, a lot of times reading informational content, answering questions, but then it's becoming harder to be able to remarket to those folks or retarget them. And so the more sites can identify a user by having some type of newsletter sign up where you get an email address, some way of identifying that user so that data then can be available for remarketing purposes.
Yeah.
I think is huge and it's becoming more important. So used to, I mean, we could, through the ways that Google had third-party cookies and even the first-party cookies that were set, there was better tracking. But now with cookies going away and with some of the other identifiers going away, just tracking users will be important. So we're looking for sites that also have some of those things already in place.
Yeah, that is interesting. And anyone who's watching us right now, pay attention to what Bryan's talking about, because a lot of changes coming to the way Facebook advertising and all that stuff works. You got to make sure you're set up right, or I don't know if there's a date for it, but it's sometime pretty soon that things are switching over, and your ads might just literally stop running if you're not careful because of all the changes. So
if you haven't switched over, the universal Google tag for your analytics account, Google announced Analytics 4, which is now live as of late last year. We've switched Human Proof Designs over to Google Analytics 4 now, and so all of our analytics and tracking is going through it. It's unbelievable the amount of data that we're getting through it, even though because they're using some AI technology to help with that too. But it's really good. And if you have any sites today, I would say switch them over to Google Analytics 4 now. You can run the universal tag and the Google Analytics 4 tag at the same time.
Okay.
But I would go ahead and get that switched over, because as we start buying sites over the next year or two, we're going to want the sites to be on Google Analytics 4.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you're going to start losing data on the universal tag, because the universal tag is relying on a cookie. So, a lot of users are blocking those. And then you also have a lot of privacy rules that are in place now. California implemented that CCPA rules. So, so switch over to Google Analytics 4, and you need to do it now.
Prepare, do it now. You're already too late, so get on it. I get that. So tell me more. I've heard, both of us have been talking about your business, Human Proof Designs. Tell me a little bit more about what you guys actually do. And I know we have a little partnership with you at Flippa. If you want to just kind of jump into how you can help our users as well, because you do have some fantastic product yourself.
Yeah, I mean, we list quite a few sites on Flippa. Really, we started a partnership. I guess it's been a year and a half or so ago, and the goal was how do we present to users really high quality starter sites for those that are just getting started with online business. There's lots of opportunity out there to get starter sites, but they're not always to the quality level that they need to be. And so we wanted to have an offering for Flippa users where they could not only get a quality starter site, but because you're new, you need support, you need training, you need all those aspects that go with, okay, now I got this site, what do I do? So that's where our partnership got started. So you'll find on Flippa quite a few of the human-proof design made, we call them ready-made sites. So we basically just do research into various niches, determine which ones are too competitive, which ones are we think we can be competitive in, and then those niches that we think we can compete in, we build niche sites around those, and those range anywhere from 10,000 words of blog and article content up to 50,000 or so blog and article content. And then everything you need basically to get going, including a training program and support from our team, our Facebook group, and so forth. So you can go to Flippa, you can purchase any of our ready-made sites, and then once you do that, typically within an hour, you get full access to the site. So we have a place that emails you the logins, emails you the credentials, gets the site transferred over to you. We include web hosting with it for a year, so you can get started really pretty quick with those. And then you'll get, our team will outreach to you to get you set up in our training program.
Yeah, it's amazing. It really is like one of the best opportunities, I would say, for someone who's looking to just jump into this world. Like, they range in price, but they're not expensive. They're all a great value for anyone who just kind of wants to get their toes in the water. They're perfectly set up, which is why I love them, because there's plenty of starter sites on Flippa, but you got to do your due diligence and make sure you're getting the right thing. And like, if it says human proof designs next to it, like, you're getting the right thing. Even just being able to transfer it that quickly, because that's a tough thing if you've never done it before, is like understanding like, well, how does this become mine? It's not like buying a pair of socks where you just hand it to somebody. So it's really important just to have that service as part of it. And if anyone's watching us right now on Flippa website, I'll put a link just below this to everything that Human Proof has listed on Flippa right now. So you can just click that button somewhere down here. I don't know where it is, and get them. They are cool in so many niches. I always get kind of excited because you guys find some fun niches to create these sites in, or I don't know where you even find them from. So good stuff.
Oh, yeah, it's amazing. Our team comes up with the niches. Sometimes we're like, is that something people are really interested in? But it is like, it's amazing the traffic and this, the growth that we see on some of these niches. They're, because the truth is, the more niche sites that we have, the better they do. If you go too broad, if you want to do a site on golfing, that's just a broad topic. Good luck ranking for that.
Yeah.
Now
you're competing with the PGA and ESPN.
Yeah, so you're not going to have much luck. So.
Yeah, no, it does amaze me because obviously there's non-starter sites on Flippa too, and sometimes I see something listed that's making $500,000 a year, and it's like in some category. I'm like, who's going to this website? But like, obviously there's a market for everything. It's pretty impressive.
Yeah,
I do love it.
You were mentioning there that when you buy a site, it is a lot like transfer process. And so, I mean, we've been involved in deals on Flippa and off of Flippa where they have fallen apart because the assets couldn't be transferred, or there was lots of issues with it. And so, with the starter site at least, you don't have that worry because everything is set up and ready for you. It's
made to go.
If we do sell revenue generating sites, of course you can get lots on Flippa as well, but you just have to be careful with your due diligence, as you mentioned there, and And then ultimately, if you're a seller, you need to make sure that you keep all the assets for that business and separate from every other asset that you have.
Yes.
Don't combine Google Analytics accounts, don't combine YouTube accounts, don't combine, if you have revenues, keep it in a separate account. All those things are important because deals are lost all the time because we can't do due diligence on it appropriately because you can't provide us with evidence. You can't,
Right.
provide proof. You can't separate it from other sites you may be running, or you've lost logins to this account. We have one deal that we was doing with last year, and they had a YouTube account that had over 4 million views and millions of followers. And one of the reasons why we wanted that business was because of that YouTube account. Well, they hadn't logged into that YouTube account in a couple of years and didn't have the credentials for it, nor did they have the email address it was registered under. So there was no way to get access to that YouTube account. And you reach out to YouTube and they can't help you with that unless you can have some type of proof, and
Right.
just don't. You have no way to get into the account. So that deal fell apart, which is unfortunate. But those are the types of things you got to be careful of.
That's fat. God, I'd like to know the person who has 4 million YouTube views and doesn't know how to log in. That's a shame.
Yes.
But it happens. I get it. We've all lost things in the past. No, it's a lot of interesting stuff, and I love what you're doing. I love the way you look at stuff. I also have one question I like to ask at the end of all my conversations, because even though you've got human proof designs, we are humans after all. And you've already talked about loving to go up to the lake, things like that. But, I always just like to know, what's a perfect day look like in the life of Bryon, in this digital world you've created for yourself?
The perfect day. Well, it's probably, I kind of have two lives. I have this life of online business and technology, which is my passion and I love it. So, coming in and getting to work on some, challenge, especially some kind of technical challenge, and then being able to get it fixed and resolved and seeing it work. I just love that.
Yeah.
I love technical challenges. I love trying to figure out why this site's not working or what can we do to make it better. Those types of challenges just, get me very excited, and I love doing that. So that'd be a perfect day. And then on my other side of my life, really just going to the lake and jumping in the water and jet skiing and skiing and all those things that I just live for as well in the summer. So
That's fantastic. And that's what I love. And I think that's what people like about, the types of businesses that you find on Flippa, is that you can take time and get outside and spend time with your family and actually enjoy life once in a while instead of being a slave to the clock.
yeah.
It's great to see. Well, thank you so much, Bryon. We love all the stuff that you post on Flippa for sale. We love seeing it when you're buying stuff on Flippa. I know you've got a lot of knowledge, so we'll put some links below. People can get in touch if they want to reach out for anything. But thanks for joining today. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it.
Great stuff, man.
All right.